From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White. Mounties in Saskatchewan have issued an alert for an active shooter. The shooter is reported to be at a health clinic in Pelican Narrows. That's about 500 kilometers northeast of Saskatoon. Residents in Pelican Narrows are being asked to find a safe location and lock their doors. So far, there's no word on casualties nor the identity of the shooter. Canada's postal workers have voted overwhelmingly in favour of a new 5-year contract. The union for some 55,000 Canada Post employees says more than 4 in 5 members voted in favour of the deal. It marks the end of a drawn-out, more than 2-year saga of collective bargaining and rotating strikes against the backdrop of a push to overhaul the Crown Corporation's business model. Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc is off to Washington tomorrow to meet with his American counterpart.
Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc will be joined by Canada's chief trade negotiator for a meeting with U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer. Official trade talks between Ottawa and Washington have yet to launch ahead of a mandatory review of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico Agreement on Trade. The United States and Mexico have begun their negotiations. President Donald Trump froze trade talks with Canada last year after he was angered by an Ontario-sponsored ad quoting former President Ronald Reagan criticizing tariffs. Greer recently said there are significant trade issues with Canada. Kelly Malone, The Canadian Press, Washington.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is in Toronto to reveal more details of the government's plan to fight anti-Semitism and hate. It comes less than a month after Toronto police said 3 visibly Jewish community members were shot at with an imitation firearm. The Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs says events in the Middle East have fueled hatred and violence against Jewish Canadians. 2 wildfires in Saskatchewan have forced more than 1,300 people out of their homes. Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe says crews have made progress on fighting the 2 wildfires in the province, but he says there's still more work to do.
Big thanks and much love to so many people that did so very much over the course of the weekend and the last week or two.
About 1,200 people have fled to First Nations communities near the Manitoba boundary, while another 130 have left the rural municipality of Shellbrook, northeast of Saskatoon. Toronto police say they've arrested 2 people and seized thousands of counterfeit soccer merchandise items ahead of the FIFA World Cup. Superintendent David Eklund says they allegedly found the fake goods in a warehouse in Mississauga, Ontario.
We seized more than 16,000 name-brand fake jerseys and flags, along with 2 counterfeit FIFA World Cup trophies with an estimated street value of more than $3.5 million.
Police are urging the public to only buy from trusted sellers and report suspected fraud. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, longtime Montreal Canadiens forward Brendan Gallagher's moving on from the only NHL franchise he's ever known.
I had a thought about my mom. I was just thinking about how the teammates supported me through that, and oh God. Sorry. I still get emotional talking about her, but that's just something that always will stick with me.
Gallagher's mother died of brain cancer last season. In tennis, Felix Auger-Aliassime continued to take advantage of a wide-open draw at the French Open, advancing to the quarterfinals. He'll next face Italy's Flavio Cobolli. The International Cricket Council has suspended Cricket Canada's membership, but Canadian teams are still eligible to compete in sanctioned events. The governing body says the suspension's because of what it calls serious breaches of Cricket Canada's membership obligations. It comes during an investigation of corruption allegations raised in a CBC documentary. From the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.